Single mom discovers heartwarming support as CEO offers life-changing gift. Charge it to me. Emma blinked at the bright screen, her heart racing. Tears threatened as she scrolled through social media and hit the post button. A photo of her and her daughter, Lily, smiled back, sparkling in the autumn sunlight. Imagining the caption echoed in her mind, single mom discovers heartwarming support, but beneath the cheerful imagery, her life felt like a balancing act teetering over a chasm. Every early morning was a blur, a quick kiss on Lily's forehead, a packed lunch shoved into her tiny backpack, and the grinding reality of 2 jobs ahead. At the diner, she poured coffee with tired hands, hiding her fear under a practiced smile. She watched as costs like rent, groceries, and heat climbed steadily, suffocating her spirit. But through all the exhaustion, Emma taught Lily about resilience, never letting her daughter see the weight pressing down on her. One afternoon, disaster struck like a lightning bolt amid a clear sky. Lily rushed home from school, her eyes gleaming with stories of a school fundraiser for a trip, the kind of adventure she dreamed of but felt was now a distant star. When Emma learned of the fees, her heart sank. The vibrant orange and red leaves blanketing their neighborhood mirrored her defeat. It seemed every positive moment was there to remind her of the looming darkness. "Mom, can I go?" Lily's small voice broke Emma's focus. All she could muster was a weak nod, her imagination already running wild with worry over the bills piling up. Days later, the community potluck arrived, a celebration rich with laughter and the heavenly aroma of baked goods. It felt like an escape, so she put on her best smile, convincing herself it was just another evening with neighbors. Except tonight was different. Among the chatter, Jack, the charismatic CEO of a local tech company, stood out, drawing Emma's gaze like a magnet. When their eyes met, something shifted. He approached, the warmth in his eyes sparking a glimmer of hope. After a couple breezy inquiries, Jack made a heart-stopping offer. "We'd love to provide Lily with a full scholarship for her activities," he declared, face earnest, leaning closer as if their little world faded away for a moment. Before Emma could respond, she felt joy and weight intermingling in her chest. Was she about to accept a lifeline or drowning in a show of pity? What would this mean for her dignity? Before we continue, I need to let you know about something important that's happening. YouTube has been making changes to the system and many people are losing notifications from channels they follow. If you're enjoying the content, hit that bell and mark all notifications so you don't miss the next videos. And if you can drop a like, it really helps me with reach. Seriously, it makes a difference. Oh, let me know in the comments where you're watching from. I'm always curious to know who's on the other side of the screen. Now let's continue. As whispers of both gratitude and doubt rippled through the room, Emma gathered her strength, only to find herself trapped in a web of rumors. Jack's intentions were questioned. Was it genuine altruism, or a way of flaunting his wealth? Confidence, once gleaming, now flickered inside her. The potluck transformed into a ground for confrontation. "Are you offering this because you pity me or because you genuinely want to help?" Emma demanded, searching both his eyes and her own heart for answers. Discussions unfolded, emotions bare, revealing their pains and struggles. But was hope flickering back to life? Just then, a shocking twist loomed. Would she rise above this uncertainty? All around her, change seemed imminent, and she stood at a crossroads of community, dignity, and newfound connection. What would she choose? Tension hung in the air, thick with the weight of Emma's question. Jack's face shifted, flickers of surprise and concern crossing his features. Was this really happening? Emma's heart pounded, hoping he could see the fear beneath her fiery demand. "I assure you, Emma, it's not about pity," Jack replied, his voice steady but softened by sincerity. "I grew up in a similar situation. I know how hard it can be. This isn't charity, it's an investment in Lily's future." Emma eyed him, searching for the truth. She had spent so long shielding Lily from their struggle, from the tightness in her chest, the hum of worry in her mind. Inviting Jack into their lives felt like cracking in armor she had worn for years. "But you have everything," she gestured around, taking in the laughter, the clinking of glasses, the warmth of families mingling with ease. "What do you know of our lives? How can you understand? His smile faltered slightly, but he held her gaze. I know the value of support. I know a spark in a child can become a flame with the right resources. Emma's heart sank and soared at once. She wanted to reach out and grab this chance, yet feared the price of vulnerability with a man she barely knew. Their heated exchange drew attention. Neighbors glanced their way, whispers threading through the room. Bit by bit, everyone had their eyes on them. Emma felt exposed, but also strangely emboldened. As conversations faded into the background, she blinked back tears. We've struggled for so long, Jack. I don't want charity. I want security for Lily, not the spotlight. Jack nodded. I understand. Security can come in many forms. Providing financial help doesn't make you less able to provide love, guidance, or strength. The air shifted, their conversation fading from the curiosity of the crowd to a bubble of intimacy. Emma watched as his words sank in, planting seeds of possibility and doubt in the soil of her mind. What did she truly want? Was it okay to let someone in? Jack took a step closer, lowering his voice. What if we do this together? Let me connect with you and Lily, not just as a CEO, but as a friend. A supporter. If you're worried about what others think, let's show them our strength. His sincerity clashed with her instinct to protect. If she truly accepted his help, would she compromise herself? Then a voice echoed from the back of the room, pulling her from her thoughts. What do you think, Emma? Are you going to accept help from him, or are we called to fend for ourselves? A neighbor chimed in, alluding to their long-standing narratives of self-reliance. Before Emma could respond, Lily arrived, her laughter infectious as she clutched a cupcake decorated with colorful sprinkles. Mom! Can we play games now? Her innocent exuberance became a reminder of why the stakes were so high. At that moment, with Lily beaming up at her, the weight of decisions blurred. Maybe this wasn't just about her anymore. Maybe the change wasn't only about accepting help but about evolving together a journey towards hope. Emma inhaled deeply, searching for the right words. Was she finally ready to step off the lonely ledge she had been walking? Let me think, she murmured, her thoughts racing like the autumn wind whirling outside. As the evening progressed, she drifted back into the crowd, Jack's words looping in her mind. What if accepting help wasn't the end of her pride, but the beginning of something greater? Little did she know, more twists awaited her on this uncharted path. The night started dimming around her, but a warmth began to spread, urging her forward. What did tomorrow hold? Would it be the start of hope or just another chapter of struggles? Emma would soon find out, and her heart raced at the possibility. The following day dawned with a gray sky, mirroring Emma's uncertainty. She sat at the kitchen table, staring blankly at a half-eaten bowl of cereal. The warmth she felt last night was now a distant memory, replaced by cold doubt. What had she been thinking? Accepting help felt like sinking into quicksand, and yet, the light in Lily's eyes when she mentioned games made Emma's heart ache. Mom! Lily called, her voice ringing like a sweet melody through the house. Are we still going to the park today? Emma forced a smile, knowing she couldn't let her daughter see her inner turmoil. Of course, sweetheart. Just give me a few minutes to get ready. Once Lily dashed back to her toys, Emma took out her phone, hesitating as she scrolled through messages. Jack's invitation lingered at the top. Was it really a step towards something better, or just another weight added to her already heavy burden? The drive to the park was filled with Lily's laughter, her excitement palpable. They pulled up to the bustling playground, where kids squealed and parents chatted. With each step towards the entrance, Emma felt a mix of joy and dread swirling inside her. Look, Mom! I want to swing! Lily exclaimed, running ahead. Emma couldn't help but smile at the zeal radiating from her daughter. The simple joys of childhood were something she never wanted to dim. As Lily soared on the swings, Emma's thoughts drifted back to Jack. Would he really be a friend? The voice of doubt whispered, warning her of betrayal and disappointment. But there was also hope, a flicker asking her to consider the possibility of a brighter path for Lily. Hey, Emma! A familiar voice broke her reverie. It was Sarah, a neighbor from down the street. I'll watch Lily for you. I saw you at the gathering last night. Is everything okay? Emma hesitated, her initial instinct to keep her struggles private gnawing at her. Yeah, just figuring things out, I guess. Sarah stepped closer, her expression softening. You know, it's okay to ask for help. We're all in this together. I've had my own struggles. Remember when I lost my job last year? Emma nodded, the warmth of community igniting something within her. People want to support you, but we can't read your mind. Don't be afraid to lean on us, Sarah continued, her words ringing true. With a grateful nod, Emma realized perhaps leaning on Jack wasn't the same as giving up. It could be a bridge to building connections, reminding her that the strength of community could lift them all. As she turned to watch Lily on the swings, joy radiated from her daughter. Emma's heart swelled with a resolve she hadn't felt in a while. She would think about Jack's offer, but she would be cautious. This was about Lily, and maybe accepting support didn't mean she was weak. Perhaps it meant she was stronger than she'd ever realized. The sun began breaking through the clouds, casting a warm glow over the playground. Emma took a deep breath, her heart beating steadier now. As they left the park, a plan started to form in her mind. She had an idea that might just work. But would it change everything for her and Lily? She glanced down at her phone, Jack's name shining in the notifications. For the first time, excitement tingled through her. What if this was the turning point? Tomorrow could hold new possibilities. Would she take the plunge and let help in? Would she rediscover hope in unexpected places? Emma would have to decide, and her heart raced at the thought. The next morning, the sun shone brightly, illuminating Emma's kitchen and chasing away the lingering gray of uncertainty. She poured Lily a bowl of cereal, her movements now more assured, filled with a new spark. Thoughts of reaching out to Jack buzzed in her mind like bees drawn to a summer bloom. Mom! Guess what? Lily's excitement disrupted Emma's daydream. I want to help you bake cookies today. Emma chuckled, the sound lifting her spirits higher. Cookies, huh? That sounds perfect. We can have a little bake-off. As they whisked flour and sugar together, Lily's laughter filled the air, an innocent soundtrack to their kitchen adventure. Emma savored these moments, but now an undercurrent of anxiety tugged at her. Today, she'd take the first step toward accepting help. It felt both thrilling and terrifying. After the cookies baked, the sweet smell wafted through their small home, and Lily clapped her hands in delight. Can we take some to Jack? She asked, her eyes sparkling with possibility. Emma froze, her heart pounding. Jack hadn't been the cornerstone of her fears, but he was still a stranger, someone she was still wrestling to understand. She had to tread carefully, but seeing how happy Lily looked ignited something in her. Sure. Let us share some with him, she replied, fighting the hesitation swirling in her mind. Soon, they were standing on Jack's porch, the warm sun dripping golden rays over them. Emma held the plate of warm cookies like a lifeline. She raised her hand and knocked, a gentle rapping that made her anxious. Moments later, Jack opened the door, his easy smile instantly calming her. Hey there! Wow, is that the smell of cookies? Lily practically bounced in place. We made them. All for you. Jack crouched down, excitement lighting his features. I love cookies. Thank you, Lily. He took a cookie and bit into it with a theatrical smile that made both Emma and her daughter laugh. Emma felt her heart soften. She found herself smiling more genuinely, the weight of yesterday's fears beginning to lift. Jack's laughter with Lily filled the space, wrapping around the three of them like a warm embrace. Come on in. You both have to tell me how you made these, Jack said, waving them inside. As they entered, Emma realized how vital moments like these could be. Surrounding Lily with positive influences felt important, and Jack's gentle presence brought a sense of ease. Maybe he could be a friend, and maybe accepting help wasn't the end of her independence but rather a new beginning. As they chatted and shared stories over cookies, Emma felt a budding friendship form. Every laugh and gentle poke at each other was building something deeper. With each passing moment, she grew more certain that opening her heart and home wouldn't lead her to danger but rather to a community she desperately needed. While they talked, Jack mentioned a local community center that offered workshops for parents. "You might love it, Emma. It's a great place to meet other moms. They have everything from crafts to job skills." Emma's interest piqued. What if this was indeed the support she had been missing? What if connecting with other parents could provide her and Lily with friendships and growth they both desired? "Maybe we could check it out together," Emma said, her voice steadier, infused with the excitement of possibility. As the doors to new beginnings began to open, she felt twinges of doubt stir again. Would she fully step into this world of connections and vulnerability? Yet, in that moment, laughter filled the room, Lily's voice ringing bright, chasing away the shadows. Emma's heart was full, but the questions remained swirling in her chest. Would she let herself trust in this new journey, fully aware that it could change everything? She gazed at Jack, the warmth in his smile urging her onward, and wondered what would come next. Jack's laughter echoed in Emma's mind as she stepped back out into the sunlight with Lily. The afternoon was warm, wrapping around them like a cozy blanket. They walked side by side, Lily swinging their interlocked hands, her joy infectious. Emma couldn't help but smile. "What did you think, Mom? Jack is so nice," Lily exclaimed, her eyes bright with enthusiasm. "He really is, sweetheart." "I'm glad you had fun," Emma replied, forcing herself not to think about the wild butterflies fluttering in her stomach. It was both exhilarating and a touch frightening to let a stranger into their lives. As they headed home, Emma reflected on Jack's suggestion about the community center. It felt like an invitation into a world she had long stood outside of, peering through the glass but never finding the courage to step in. "We can definitely check out that workshop, can't we, Lily?" she said, hoping her voice conveyed the confidence she wanted to feel. "Yay! Can we bake cookies for the moms too?" Lily's enthusiasm bubbled over again. Emma laughed, knowing her daughter's heart matched her own. They were in this together. Once home, they set to work tidying up the kitchen. The smell of baked cookies lingered, a warm reminder of that afternoon. The delightful chaos of flour and sprinkles covered the counters, but Emma didn't mind. It felt like life was returning to her, little by little. After their kitchen cleanup, Emma pulled out a chair and sat at the table with Lily. "You know, I used to think that letting people in meant losing something," Emma confessed, looking at her daughter's eager face. "But today, it felt different. It felt good." "What do you think?" Lily tilted her head, her brow furrowing just like Emma's when deep in thought. "I think having friends is nice. Like when we have playdates with Sarah. It's fun." "Exactly," Emma said, her heart swelling. "I guess sometimes it takes a little courage to open up, huh?" Lily nodded sagely, making Emma chuckle again. The innocence of her child's perspective made everything seem a little less intimidating, a little brighter. As evening descended, Emma prepared dinner, feeling lighter than she had in ages. She found herself humming softly, her spirit unfurling. The kitchen lit with the golden hues of dusk felt like a sanctuary, and for the first time in months, she began to visualize a future filled with hope not just for her, but also for Lily. After dinner, while they settled on the couch with picture books, Emma's phone buzzed. It was a message from Jack, a simple invitation to the community center's open house next Saturday, adding, "I think you both would really enjoy it." Emma stared at the message for a long moment, heart racing. Inviting Jack into their lives was one thing, but attending an event meant moving toward that deeper connection, toward vulnerability. "Is everything okay, Mom?" Lily asked, glancing up from her book. "Yes, honey, just making some plans," Emma replied, a smile playing on her lips. Her phone buzzed again, another message, "I hope to see you there." Emma felt a rush of warmth. The idea of being part of something, sharing laughs and strengthening bonds with others, made her heart quake with anticipation. But what would it really mean to open herself up to a whole new world? Suddenly, she wrestled with a familiar doubt. Wasn't it easier to keep everything at arm's length, just her and Lily in their little bubble? The book slipped from Lily's fingers. "Mom? You're thinking a lot," she said softly, as if sensing the storm of emotions brewing within Emma. Am I? Emma replied, her heart clenching. Yes. You're frowning, but I like seeing you smile, Lily stated simply, her honesty poignant. Emma looked into Lily's innocent eyes, remembering the joy she felt today, the laughter they shared with Jack. The smile returned to her face, a decision forming softly within her. Tomorrow, maybe she wouldn't just dip her toes in but dive right into this new world. As she closed her eyes for just a moment, a tiny spark ignited. Could embracing this new chance be a step toward healing not just for her, but for her daughter too? A tingle of fear mixed with excitement washed over her. Before she could second-guess herself, the thought that scared her most bubbled to the top. What if this truly was the beginning of a life she had only dreamed about? Lily? Emma said, her voice steadying. What do you think about making new friends together? Lily's face lit up, her excitement spilling over. Yes. Let us do it. I can't wait. As her daughter clapped her hands in glee, Emma's heart swelled. She hadn't realized how desperately she needed this. Tomorrow would be about stepping into unknown territories, a leap she was ready to take. It was about more than cookies, it was about community, friendship, and the power of connection. Emma felt a flutter of hope, uncertainty battling with warmth. But as she held Lily close, she knew this journey would lead to something extraordinary. Then it hit her. The open house was just a day away. What if everything changed in an instant? Would she stand on the threshold of something amazing? The possibilities unfolded like pages in a book, and she was ready to turn the page. The sun peeked through the curtains, casting playful patterns across Emma's bedroom. She stirred awake, heart pounding with a mixture of excitement and nerves about the open house. The laughter from yesterday's encounter with Jack brought a smile to her face. The air felt electric with possibility. Mom! Is it time to go? Lily's voice broke through her thoughts, impatient and bright. Emma hurried to get out of bed, her heart racing with the day's potential. Almost, sweetheart. I just need a minute, she called back, now battling a whirlwind of anticipation and fear. As she got dressed, she chose her favorite blue sweater. It reminded her of the sky, a color that felt like a promise of new beginnings. She could almost hear Lily bouncing with impatience from the other room, ready for this adventure. Can I wear my pretty dress? Lily peeked through the doorway, twirling in a vibrant floral dress that fluttered around her like wings. Absolutely. You look beautiful, Emma responded, beaming at her daughter's delight. They quickly ate breakfast, the chatter flowing easily between them. The nerves coiled within Emma began to unwind. We're going to meet new friends today, Lily. It's going to be great, she said, trying to match her excitement to her daughter's. Will Jack be there? Lily asked, her eyes wide with hope. Yes, and I think he'll bring his son too. You'll have someone to play with, Emma reassured, feeling warmth bloom in her chest. She felt a tug of happiness knowing she was sharing the moments she once kept close to herself. As they arrived at the community center, the atmosphere buzzed with energy. People milled around, chatting and laughing. It felt like stepping into a vibrant tapestry of life, and for a split second, Emma hesitated at the entrance, overwhelmed by a wave of doubt. Mom, come on! Lily tugged at her hand, pulling her forward. Emma took a deep breath, letting the warmth of Lily's excitement guide her through the doors. The sight of booths filled with crafts, smiling faces, and the smell of fresh popcorn enveloped her like a comforting hug. Wow! This is so cool! Lily exclaimed, her voice brimming with awe. Emma couldn't help but chuckle. Her daughter's wonder was infectious. They wandered through the smiling crowd until, suddenly, there he was. Jack stood by a table, a warm smile lighting up his face as he spotted them. Hey! I'm glad you made it, he called out. Hi, Jack! Lily chirped, rushing ahead. Emma felt her heart flutter in tandem with Lily's joy. Jack knelt down to greet her daughter, and Emma felt a jolt of something comfort, connection, a hint of magic in the air. Lily, this is my son Oliver. He loves to play soccer. Jack introduced the boy beside him, who grinned shyly. Emma watched as her daughter and Oliver instantly clicked, giggling at something and darting off towards a game set up in the corner. She felt a rush of relief wash over her. This was what she'd been hoping for. "Looks like they're having fun already," Jack said, stepping closer. "I'm really glad you both came." Emma nodded, feeling fortified by his presence. "Thank you for the invite. It feels nice to be here," she admitted, surprised by the honesty in her voice. As they began to chat, something inside Emma shifted. It was exhilarating to talk to someone who empathized with her journey, who shared laughter and their stories, intertwining like strands woven together. But just as hope rose within her, a familiar whisper of doubt crept in. Was she daring to dream for more than friendship with Jack? The twinkling energy of the open house swirled around them, amplifying her internal conflict as they spoke about parenting, their lives, and the joy and struggles they both faced. "Do you think we could maybe get together sometime? Like with the kids?" Jack suggested, his voice hesitant as though he understood the weight of what he was proposing. Emma felt her heart race. What if this was more than just a chance to connect with others? What if it led to something deeper? Before she could respond, Lily rushed back, breathless. "Mom! Can we go play soccer?" Emma forced herself to focus on her daughter's bright eyes, nodding with enthusiasm. "Of course, let us join them." As they moved toward the field, Emma felt Jack's gaze linger on her. Warmth ignited within her. This was a moment suspended in time, a delicate balancing act between fear and hope. And as the laughter of children filled the air around them, Emma realized this was only the beginning. Tomorrow they could find friendships that expanded their world. But would she have the courage to lean into the unknown, or would she retreat back into her safe bubble? The game began, and with it, a shimmer of possibility ignited in her heart. The real question buzzed in the back of her mind: what if this was her chance to fully embrace life again? What if, with Jack and the community, everything changed forever? Emma's feet moved almost of their own accord, propelling her toward the field where the kids had gathered. Lily was already showing off her soccer skills, darting across the grass with Oliver right behind her, laughter cascading in the air like music. Jack followed closely, and as they walked together, Emma felt the warmth radiating from him. "They're a good match, aren't they?" he said, his gaze tracking the kids. She noticed the way the corners of his mouth tilted up in genuine joy. "They really are." "It's nice to see her so happy," Emma replied, her heart swelling at the sight of Lily and Oliver goofing around. As they reached the sidelines, Emma was surprised by how easily the conversation flowed between her and Jack. They joked about their kids' antics, sharing quick glances that made her pulses race. She could feel something shifting inside her, a warmth that hinted at new possibilities. But deep down, a voice cautioned her. "Don't get carried away." She quirked a smile, trying to shake off the unease. Just as she was about to respond to Jack's playful comment, a sudden shout echoed across the field. "Emma?" It was Melissa, a familiar face from the neighborhood. She rushed over, her eyes bright with excitement. "I didn't know you were here. You should be told me. I didn't know it was such a big deal." Emma laughed, momentarily forgetting her fears. "Everything here is a big deal. What's life without a little chaos, right?" Melissa grinned, her vibrant energy contagious. As Jack and Melissa exchanged greetings, Emma's heart sank a little. What if this fleeting moment with Jack was about to slip away into a whirlwind of socializing? Their connection felt so fragile, like gossamer threads that could easily be snapped. "Come on, let us all play," Melissa suggested, turning her attention back to the field. Jack chuckled, and before Emma could interject, he was leading them toward the playful chaos. They joined the kids, bodies clumsy and full of laughter as they kicked the ball and shouted encouragements. Emma's laughter joined the chorus, her earlier doubts fading amidst the joy bubbling inside her. As the game wore on, she caught fleeting glimpses of Jack stealing glances at her. Each time their eyes met, it felt as if an electric current pulsed through her. Could this simple day of play lead to more? Suddenly, the idea gave her hope. "Hey, you've got potential," Jack called out during a timeout, playfully nudging her shoulder with encouragement. I think we should sign you up for a team. Emma felt her cheeks flush, a mix of flattery and fear. Let us not get ahead of ourselves. I just have a solid kicking technique. She joked, dismissing the compliment but reveling in the attention. Time slipped away, marked by laughter and cheers from the group. Emma could feel herself relax, layers of tension melting like ice in the sun. This was a community, and in this moment she felt connected. But as the sun began to dip lower in the sky, casting long shadows across the field, Emma's thoughts returned to the possibilities ahead. Would she dare to foster this connection with Jack? Maybe they can offer you advice on that kick, Jack teased, breaking her reverie. It could be a game changer for us. Advice, or just backhanded compliments? She laughed, her heart dancing. Suddenly, Jack's expression turned serious. No, really. I'd love to spend more time with you and Lily. We could learn from each other, and each other's kids. Emma's heart raced. This was at the moment she'd been waiting for, but the doubt surged again. What if it turned out to be more complicated than it seemed? But before she could respond, a shrill whistle blew, calling them back to the game. The kids took off, and Emma found herself rushing after Lily, who had seized the ball and was darting toward the goal. Go, sweetheart! You can do it! Emma shouted, her voice mingling with the cheers. But just as Lily reached the goal, ready to score, something shifted in the air. Emma noticed Jack's eyes suddenly darting to his watch, concern creasing his brow. Sorry, I just remembered I have to head out. Soon, he said, looking genuinely regretful. A wave of disappointment washed over her. Their moment seemed to hang in limbo, fragile as glass. Oh, I understand, she said quickly, refusing to let her emotions bubble over. Jack smiled apologetically. Let us exchange numbers, okay? We'll make this happen again soon. I promise. Emma felt her stomach twist with a mix of excitement and nervousness. This was an opportunity, but would it lead to something more meaningful, or would it dissolve into friendly exchanges? Definitely, she replied, her mind racing with possibility as they exchanged numbers, each touch a tiny spark. As they waved goodbye moments later, Emma felt an undercurrent of promise in the air, yet an ache of uncertainty tugged at her heart. Would he really follow through? Later that evening, with Lily asleep in her room, Emma found herself scrolling through her phone, replaying the day's events in her head. The kids' laughter, the spark between her and Jack, and most notably, the question lingering in her mind, what if this was the start of something beautiful? But as excitement surged, it was matched by a fear that echoed louder, a fear of being vulnerable, of opening her heart once again. Could she truly allow happiness back into her life? And just then, a notification buzzed on her phone, a message from Jack. Her heart raced as she clicked it open, wondering if tonight would bring her clarity, or throw her emotions into disarray. Emma's heart pounded as she opened the message from Jack, a mix of hope and trepidation swirling inside her. Hey, Emma. Today was fun. I'm really glad we met up. Thought I'd reach out and see if you'd want to grab coffee sometime this week. Just the idea of seeing him again sent a flutter through her chest. She stared at the screen, her fingers hovering over the keyboard. Slowly, she began typing a response. Sounds great. How about Thursday? Before she could second-guess herself, she hit send and leaned back on the couch, a nervous grin pulling at her lips. What would they talk about? Would it be more playing and laughing? Or would it veer into deeper territory, into things she hadn't allowed herself to contemplate in ages? The clock ticked away as she waited for his reply, the quiet of the house amplifying her racing thoughts. Moments later, her phone buzzed. Perfect. 10 a.m. at that little coffee shop on Maple Street? Her heart warmed at the thought of seeing him again. It felt different this time. Something deeper flickered beneath their playful banter. Just as she was about to dive back into her whirlwind of thoughts, Lily's soft voice stirred in the other room, pulling Emma from her reverie. The little girl stumbled in, her hair a tousled mess, but her eyes sparkled with innocence and curiosity. Mommy, did you have fun today? She asked, rubbing her eyes, still half asleep. The best time, sweetheart, Emma replied, reaching out to give her a warm hug. You were amazing out there. I'm so proud of you. Lily beamed. Did I score a goal? Emma laughed lightly. You almost did. You were just a kick away. As they settled into the living room, Emma reflected on how much joy Lily brought her. It was like every smile and giggle from her daughter plugged into Emma's heart, filling it with warmth. Still, the notion of inviting Jack into their lives felt daunting. What if he didn't just want coffee? What if he wanted a glimpse into their world, her world, complete with messy playdates and bedtime stories? But the confidence from earlier pulsed again. She turned to her daughter, who was rifling through toys. Hey, do you want to help me pick out what to wear for coffee on Thursday? Lily's eyes lit up. Yes. Let us make it pretty. They turned their time together into a mini fashion show that brought giggles and a scattering of dresses across the floor. Emma felt moments of laughter lift her spirits, sharing these little things with her daughter. It was a simple delight, yet it reminded Emma of the small joys that made life so vibrant. Later that night, as Emma tucked Lily into bed, she smiled down at her sleeping angel, feeling grateful. The fear that gripped her heart faded slightly. Maybe this connection with Jack could be good for both of them. Maybe it could even be what she needed to discover another layer of happiness in her life. But once Lily was asleep and the house settled into stillness, doubt crept back like a shadow. Was she too broken to invite someone into their lives? Was she ready to let someone into her heart when the last break still lingered like a phantom? The questions haunted her as she curled up on the couch, staring at her phone. What if she let her guard down, only to be disappointed again? Just as she was about to drown in those thoughts, a message popped up, breaking the silence this time from her mom. It was a simple, comforting message reminding her that she was loved and capable. Emma smiled, feeling her mom's support wrapping around her like a warm blanket. Could she lean into it? Could she take a chance on Jack and embrace the possibility of building something new? As she drifted off to sleep, her mind raced with different scenarios of how Thursday might unfold. Her anxieties danced with anticipation, leaving her with an undeniable feeling of hope. But then, just as she was about to finally relax, another notification chimed. This one wasn't from Jack or her mom, but from an unknown number, sending a message that read, "You don't know me, but it's time to make that choice." Emma's heart raced again, curiosity immediately taking over. What did this mean? Who was this person? And what choice were they referring to? An unsettling thought struck. Was she being watched? Or was it just a harmless coincidence? Her heart began to pound. What choice awaited her, and would it change everything? Emma's mind raced as she stared at the screen, her breath caught in her throat. Her heart hammered in her chest, a wild mix of anxiety and intrigue. Who was this person? What did they want? For a moment, she thought about ignoring it and moving on with her day. But curiosity clawed at her. Whoever this was, they seemed to know something. Or at least they wanted her to think they did. Against her better judgment, she typed back a cautious response. Who is this? The minutes ticked by painfully slow as she waited. Was this a prank? A mistake? Just when she felt the weight of uncertainty settling in, her phone buzzed again. Trust me, it's someone you should listen to. You have a choice to make. Thursday is important. Emma's heart quickened. Thursday? Was it about her coffee with Jack? The possibility of welcoming someone into her life? Her thoughts spiraled as she considered the implications of this cryptic message. She needed to know more. She quickly replied, "What do you know about Thursday?" This time, the response came almost instantly. "You'll understand when the time comes. Don't ignore the signs." She frowned at the screen, confusion bubbling to the surface. This felt like a scene straight out of a suspense movie. But in her gut, she sensed something deeper was at play. With a shaky breath, she put her phone down on the coffee table and tried to set her thoughts aside. She picked up the book she had been reading, but the words blurred into nonsense. The buzz of her phone had shifted her focus completely. As she flipped through the pages absent-mindedly, the sunlight began to pool across the floor, warming her skin. She could hear Lily softly snoring in the other room. The innocent sound brought her back to what mattered most: her daughter, their little world. But now, a new layer had been added. She couldn't shake the feeling that Thursday would change everything. The next morning, Emma woke up with a sense of urgency. She forced herself to get up and into the shower. When she emerged wrapped in a towel, she caught a glimpse of herself in the mirror. The reflection looking back felt a bit more determined than she remembered. "What are you waiting for?" she asked her reflection, trying to motivate herself. The day passed in a blur of to-do lists, playdates, and half-hearted attempts at distraction. In the late afternoon, as she was picking up Lily from school, she felt her phone buzz in her pocket. Without thinking, she pulled it out, and her breath hitched. New message. This is your moment. Don't hesitate when the choice is clear. Deep down, she knew this wasn't just about coffee anymore. There was something weighty in the air, a tangible sense of change on the horizon. At the park, as she watched Lily running and playing, Emma was torn. Part of her yearned to feel excitement and possibility with Jack. Yet another layer of fear buried itself deep, questioning whether she was strong enough to invite someone new into their lives. The weight of the past felt heavy. When she got home, the bright lights of the kitchen felt welcoming but almost intimidating. Should she bring up Jack with Lily? The thought of her daughter meeting someone new tugged at her heart. After dinner, while they snuggled on the couch for a movie night, a question lingered in Emma's mind. "Mommy," Lily said suddenly, her eyes wide with curiosity. "Are you happy?" The innocence of that question sent a jolt through Emma. "Of course, sweetheart," she replied, forcing a smile. But inside, layers of uncertainty and fear threatened to unravel. Thursday was coming, and with it, choices she never expected to face. As the credits rolled, her phone lit up again. Another message from the unknown number. "Tonight is your last chance to reflect. Tomorrow, the choice will be yours." Emma's heart raced again. What choices awaited her, and what consequences loomed beyond them? She took a deep breath, trying to calm her thoughts. Like a thread unraveling, the answers felt eerily close, yet fragile. Could she move forward? Or would she let her fear hold her back, and if so, what would that cost both her and Lily? As she stared at her phone, torn between reassurance and dread, she realized tomorrow might be the turning point she never knew she needed. What awaited her at coffee? A new beginning or more heartbreak? She couldn't shake the feeling that whatever was to come, it was going to change everything she thought she knew about her life and herself. The sun peeked through the curtains, lighting up Emma's kitchen like a golden promise. Today was the day. She could feel it in her bones, that unmistakable tingle of hope dancing in the air. Her heart raced as she moved through her morning routine, every step charged with anticipation. "Mom, can we make pancakes?" Lily's sweet voice chimed, breaking through Emma's thoughts. "Absolutely. Pancakes it is." Emma chuckled, her excitement bubbling up like the batter in the pan. This was their morning ritual, but today felt different. The thought of the upcoming coffee date with Jack added a spark. It was all way too thrilling, and just an undertone of nervousness crawled in. As they flipped pancakes and filled the kitchen with warmth and laughter, Emma couldn't shake the cryptic messages from the unknown number. What choice? She pondered. With every whisk of the batter, determination grew. Today would be a stepping stone, not just for her but for Lily too. "Can we make heart shapes?" Lily asked, her eyes wide with creativity. Emma smiled and nodded. "Of course." Together, they shaped their pancakes into whimsical, little forms, the kitchen alive with their laughter. Each heart reminded Emma of the potential connections waiting ahead. "Remember, Pumpkin," she looked down into her daughter's sparkling eyes, "we embrace new friends today, and we open our hearts." "Right." Lily beamed, "right." After breakfast, Emma donned her favorite blue sweater, just the right blend of comfort and confidence, and helped Lily pick out her dress for a day of adventure. "Just a bit more sparkle," Lily insisted, adding glittery hair clips that twinkled like stars. Emma chuckled, "We are definitely going to shine today." As they drove to the coffee shop, Emma felt a ball of excitement, mixed with nervousness, knotting in her stomach. She couldn't help but think of Jack. What was their connection? Funny how a few moments of shared laughter could blossom into something more. When they arrived, the smell of fresh coffee and baked goods wafted through the air, pulling Emma in like a warm hug. The cozy space was buzzing with chatter, laughter, and familiarity. Maybe this was where she belonged. "Are you ready, Mom?" Lily asked, her small hand gripping Emma's tightly. "Ready as I'll ever be," Emma said, squeezing her daughter's hand. They spotted Jack sitting at a corner table, his smile broadening as they approached. "Hey! You both look amazing," he greeted, his eyes crinkling at the corners. Emma felt her heart skip a beat. "Thanks. Lily picked out my outfit." Lily grinned, proud of her fashion expertise. As they settled into their seats, a tiny flame of connection sparked between them. Discussion flowed easily about parenting, childhood, and dreams. Jack was kind and engaging, each laugh wrapping Emma in a cocoon of comfort that felt utterly foreign yet inviting. "Do you think we could plan a little outing for the kids together?" Jack suggested gently, his eyes sparkling with hope. "Yeah. Like going to the zoo?" Lily chimed in, her cheeks flushed with excitement. "I would love that," Emma replied, feeling warmth blossom inside her at the thought of their children growing together through friendships. "Maybe it can be a regular thing?" Jack smiled broadly. "Let us make it happen. I'm all in." At that moment, the buildup of fear and uncertainty started to melt away. Suddenly it felt like a leap into the unknown might not plunge her into darkness. Maybe it could lead to joy, laughter, and community. Just then, Emma's phone vibrated, drawing her attention. It was another message from the unknown number. "Your heart knows what to choose. Embrace it." Her breath caught. Was this all part of a bigger picture and nudge in the right direction? "Everything okay?" Jack asked, noticing her pause. Emma hesitated, debating whether to share the strange messages. Instead, she looked into Jack's eyes, full of promise and sincerity. "I think it will be," she said softly, feeling the weight of her decision surfacing. Their conversation continued, filled with genuine excitement, laughter, and the warmth of newfound hope. Days of struggle and doubt seemed to dissolve, replaced by the glow of friendship blossoming in real time. Lily's laughter echoed in the background as she conversed with Jack's son, Oliver. The carefree joy radiating from them mirrored the happiness that started filling Emma's heart. As the hours flew by, time felt surreal. They talked about dreams, struggles, and connections. They revealed their own stories, inner scars woven into their journeys but no longer dominating them. "Emma, today has been special," Jack said, leaning slightly closer. "I feel like we have something good starting here." With a gentle, fluttery courage, Emma responded, "I think we do too, Jack. I'm ready to embrace it." As they exchanged numbers and planned their next outing while Lily and Oliver dogpiled on top of the couch, Emma felt the spark of change flicker inside her. She had chosen to step towards vulnerability, to welcome new friendships, and to allow joy back into their lives. As they walked out of the coffee shop, under the golden glow of the afternoon sun, Emma felt lighter every step, ushering in a vision for tomorrow. It felt like she was crossing a threshold, lingering no longer in her fears. The choice was not just about Jack but about embracing freedom, community, friendship, and the beauty of building a future together. And with every heartbeat, she knew, adventure awaited them, intertwined with laughter, love, and the promise of new beginnings. Now was the moment for courage, and Emma was ready to live it fully. It's your turn to take action. Subscribe immediately to the channel to not miss the next exclusive stories. Leave a like now to feed the algorithm. Comment your reactions and feelings about this inspiring ending. Share instantly this video with at least 5 friends who need to see this transformation. You need to subscribe now. This is the moment to show your support. Don't wait not even one more second to share. Only true fans understand the importance of supporting the channel through these actions.